So Dollar and I are steadily fighting over the thermostat. Every time I put it back on 68, she bumps it up to 72. Well, I wanted to show you my latest 7-inch metal shaper. This was a gift from a very good friend of mine in Manhattan. His name is Henri Dopierala. He told me back when I got rid of my Atlas, I was telling you guys how I'm going to miss that because, I mean, it's not something you use every day, but I couldn't justify having it, and I didn't regret getting rid of it until it was too late. But anyway, Henry saw the video and he called me. He said, you know what, I got a South Bend, all intact, cabinet, the stand, the guards, everything's there, and the tooling. And he said, if you want it, it's yours. If you want to sell it, you can do that. But he had said if I wanted to use that towards the building funds, I could. And at this point, you know, I'm trying to pay as I go and not be selling things off just to get something else. So as long as I can do that, I'm going to hold on to this one. As you can see, it does a great job. I was playing around with one of the Windy Hill Foundry anvils, and it does a magnificent job on the cuts, as you can see here. But yeah, let me show you a little bit about this. Like I said, this was acquired. Keith and I, when we were in New York, we swung through the big city, which was something we will never forget, especially Keith. If it hadn't been for Henry introducing me to a good friend of his, which I consider a good friend now, Lou, and I'll show you a little clip here. Let me introduce you to Lou. You got to meet Lou. Don't look so mean, Lou.
What do you mean? I'm smiling.
I want y'all to meet my buddy Lou, which is a friend of another buddy of mine here in New York. They're over in Manhattan, and his name is Henry.
No. We're out on Long Island. We're in Manhattan right now because I had to deliver the machine to these gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's right. He's right. But anyway,
Henry's in Northport. I'm in East Patchogue.
Okay, all right. So we had to meet in the busiest place to swap this equipment. I got a metal shaper from my buddy Henry, and Henry, if you're watching, I do appreciate it. And Lou, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, no problem.
This
I'm contributing to American tradition.
There you go.
American skills, ingenuity.
Well, I do appreciate it.
You're more than welcome.
And if y'all need Lou for anything and you're in New York, call me. I'll pass the word on.
And I believe the South is going to rise again.
Yeah.
The only people that with chivalry and standing up, and it's the Bible Belt, and that makes a world of a difference.
We are in the Bible Belt.
The North and the Northeast and the West Coast, corrupt, no good anymore.
It's kind of sketchy around here, I will admit.
Yes, it is. Born and raised here, I should know.
Well, Lou, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
All right, so Lou, and I can tell this guy is a really good individual, very sincere. and I asked him, I said, well, how much is it going to cost for you to get this machine over to me? And he said, well, I don't know, man. If I have to run over any protesters or anything like that. It's going to cost you. Oh, man. I hope he doesn't encounter any protesters. So, he said, but, he said, if I can get it over there with no problem, buy me lunch. Well, it wasn't where I could buy him lunch. I tried to give him some money to get lunch because we had to get out of there. He didn't take me up on the offer, so I have to go up there and treat Lou to lunch at some point, and I'm going to get to meet Henri too, which I wanted to meet while I was up there. It just didn't work out. Back to the machine. This is it. I have been wanting to go to New York City to get it for a couple years now, I guess, and I finally got it, along with the sand mixer that I got from another friend of mine, which I'll show in another video. But yes, Henri, if you're watching, I'm enjoying this machine. I love it, and I doubt I'm parting with it. So it is on rollers, so it is easily positionable around the building, so it's not going to be in my way. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I don't want to repaint it. I want to leave the original colors that are on it. I want to leave it just like this. It looks great. Let me show you a little better view of it. It's in great shape. Yeah, there's a little rust on it here and there, but not on the waves, not on anything important, and I'm going to leave that cabinet looking just like that. Most of the original paint is still on it. Yeah, there's some chips. Of course, I just got through using it, right? But all the covers, as I said, are still here. All the original covers. The thing is quiet, as you could see in the video. It runs very smooth. It also comes with the original light. I went ahead and screwed it off of there. I'm not used to having a light, and it's right in my way. I didn't do any damage to it. It unscrews, as you can see, off of that foot right there. That is factory. That's the factory light. So I want to take care of that and clean it up and put it up out of the way for, later, where it all stays in good condition. And then this, it does have a chipped tooth on the pulley, but it is not affecting the way this thing is running. This is your brake when it's running. And for those of you that are not familiar with a metal shaper, when as you are watching this, index this ratchet, when the ratchet's clicking, it's not moving. But when it goes the other way, it's turning this cross feed a little bit at a time, indexing the carriage over. This doohickey right here is, if it were over here instead of on this side of the wheel, it would be going in a reverse direction and indexing while you're cutting, which you don't want. It only indexes over as the ram goes back to the return stroke. Again, Henri, if you're watching, I wanted to thank you, buddy. It was very kind of you, and it was awesome to get to meet your buddy Lou, which I consider a good friend of mine now. And like I said, I still owe Lou lunch, so I'll be back up there at some point. I just can't say when yet. No more tags for me, guys. This is going to be the last one I ever have to buy. So, this is a ladle that I'm fixing to chop up. I already cut the bottom outer layer off. If you're wondering, this thing has got two different layers, an inner tub and an outer tub. So I started cutting all the way through this, and then I realized, you know what? Save that. We'll weld that back up. Nothing is holding this in place that I can tell. So we're going to take and cut just into the first section of this, and then take this whole piece out of here. This outer shell is the only thing I need, and I don't need the pouring lips. This is going to be a reverberating furnace, and this is going to be the head up here, and down there is going to be the cookie pan that's going to be hinged. But anyway, let me get to work on this. If you don't know what I'm doing, you'll figure it out later. Alright guys, we have this thing cut. So I'm going to lower it down now. And hook the chain to this, and hopefully that's going to pull right out. Now I'm going to hook to these ears and try to pull it up by those. Oh crap, I don't have an ear on this side. Alright, I gotta do something a little different. I'm doing things the ridiculous way. Pick it back up, just turn it upside down. That came out. Make sure I got my cords out of the way here. All right. It's upside down currently. And it's still pretty heavy. So I will end up having to double the trolley for this. But anyway, this is the beginning of my suspended furnace that'll run up and down the trolley. And that's right side up. This does have a slight cone to it. It'll help secure the refractory in place because it'll steadily be wedging in a downward motion. So I think this is gonna work. I sure hope it does. I was talking to Keith about this today, and this is something I have envisioned doing for years, and I just never had a good starting point until now that we have the trolley. It's going to be pretty cool. We'll be able to pour 400 pounds in one whack. But this doesn't look anything like it's going to when we get through with it. The thing is hooked right in the middle, and the gearbox throws a lot of weight to the right side. I'm going to wait until I get the refractory in it as a ballast, and then I will try to counteract it on the other side with some weight. If not, just shift the anchor point over to the right a little bit, which would probably be, honestly, the easiest thing to do. But we're going to get this thing rammed up first and get all the refractory on it to see how it looks. As I said earlier, this is going to be a reverberating furnace, and the bottom of it's going to be like a cupola. We're going to have a drop-down gate that'll dump the bottom when we're finished. This will only be used once a week, and the capacity of this is going to be 406 pounds of iron. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this thing going. I have it's a little early for me to tell you too much on it, but as we keep going, I'll fill you in on and updating you on where we're at. I'm going to go in. The gearbox is making a little noise. The hand wheel, I got to straighten that. It's bent. But, you know, that's minor issues that I can definitely fix pretty quick. Got to fill this hole. Well, I wanted to show you where we're at on the reverberating tilt furnace that's under construction. And before I say any more, I want to thank my buddy Eddie Wilson and his wife Kelly for coming out today and bringing me these clamps as well. He donated them to Windy Hill Foundry, and we were in desperate need of them. I've got 5 on this side, 5 on the other, and 2 others I couldn't find a place to clamp on yet. But this furnace, it should be up and running, if it's going to work, very soon. And I have no reason to believe it won't work. Switching over to this kind of furnace is going to do away with the crucibles that we keep going through. And I told you on YouTube a mistake. It was an older video clip of when I was first drawing this up. But I said that we would be able to pour up to 200 pounds with this. That's incorrect. This has been revised, and we're going to be able to pour 406 pounds. So I'm very excited to see if it'll do it. So the first step is to ram the head. Right now you're looking at the ladle upside down. The head of it is down there, and we already have it formed out. Everything's sealed up. All I got to do tomorrow is get the refractory rammed in it. And wait a week, let that cure, and then we will ram up the side walls of this with refractory. And I also need to add some some brackets on the side here. They're going to be suspending another bowl below. As I said, this is the bottom. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of tell you guys what we've been up to lately, and just wanted to show off our newest upgrade. If this works, it's going to be a huge game changer. All right, Dollar, what do you want? Huh? What do you want? I gave you your treat. I gave you your treat. Yeah. Well, I have taken the lid off what was forming the top, and I'm not too happy with what I'm seeing right now. This is very porous. It shouldn't look like this, but it does. So I went ahead. brought some shellac out here the other night, so I went ahead and sealed this surface with that and tried to help it slow down on its cure time. And on the other side, it looks like it's supposed to. If you go around here, all this is nice, and it's not as porous on this side. Now I do have a crack right here and a crack right there. That's probably not going to be a problem. We won't know till we actually do this, but the refractory wall on the liner here, I still got to go back and weld lugs in around the side to retain that. And because that's going to be, all this is going to be suspended hanging this way. The thing that worries me about the cracks is I'm laying my brake rotor on this slab right here as the exhaust goes up and preheats the rotors. I'm worried that's going to just fall out on me. I hope I'm wrong. We are now shipping out the CLOUGH42 cast iron riser blocks as I speak. We're casting them and shipping them out. So keep your eye on the emails. If you got an email from me on the invoice, you just send the payment to me. You send it to this address, and once we get the payment, we get that shipped out to you. But I wanted to let you guys know that. I sent out some last week, and there's several that haven't replied, so that we're on the first of that list. You need to check your email. I will contact you this week. I will reach out and give you a call if I don't hear back from you on the email, just to make sure, just to verify whether or not you're still interested in one. We don't want to catch ourselves over producing these, but at the same time, I want to try to stay on top of the game. And I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We kept it to a very minimal experience this year. It was just 3 of us, my wife, myself, and my father, and we went to Cracker Barrel. And that actually worked out pretty good. First time we ever did that away from the house. So anyway, we'll talk to you later. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.